versus DAMWON Kia, and we've already discussed on the analyst desk how the game went last time. Mad Lions really unable to find any purchase in that matchup. Now they are on the blue side, which of course opens up a wealth of opportunity for a possible first pick, but we already see the Renekton and the Thresh being banned away.
And I feel like that, if you're a European fan, what you want Mad to demonstrate is what PSG demonstrated, is that they are going toe-to-toe with the top teams, right? They are challenging RNG, and it feels like the Mad have only struggled against DK and RNG and haven't really showed anything. So here in this rematch, we want to see something different. We want to see a little bit more of an aggressive Mad, a different shade of Mad that can prove that they can actually go toe-to-toe against the favorites of the tournament.
Oh, definitely. I think Mad, during the regular season and at least in LEC playoffs, really showed that even if they fell behind in the early game, they were able to come back. They found skirmishes, they found picks, they found team fights. We didn't see that too much against DWG Kia yesterday. Now, I will say the Nocturne banned out early here from Mad alongside the Tahm Kench perhaps makes me think they are looking towards a Lee Sin first pick. Of course, Nocturne very good into the Lee Sin. Senna also available, as you say.
Oh, so I think the reason why they banned the Tahm Kench is because they want to leave the Senna up, but don't want to first pick it. So, as you rightly said, probably more like a Lee Sin priority. Oh, a lot is open.
Morgana, Rumble, Lee Sin, all of them still available. Of course, with Morgana and Rumble being up, you can take the Lee Sin and still get yourself one of the S-tier junglers. Uda is also available, as you say.
Excuse me, let's have a look here. You imagine that the Kai'Sa Nautilus is going to be the response from DWG. Ghost has played a lot of Kai'Sa this tournament. Oh, okay, never mind. My predictions just suck.
Never mind.
Haha! Okay, I was close. Kai'Sa, of course, very common first pick, so shouldn't really get much credit for that.
It's all right, we won't give you any.
Canyon on the Udyr. The question is now, how will Mad respond? They could Olaf. I'm not a massive fan, but they could, and it's considered a pretty strong matchup into the Udyr, largely because you can duel, and the anti-CC can be pretty valuable. Against the Kai'Sa, it's also not too bad. Oh, we're going to see the Xayah Leona response from Mad, so they're going to learn from the PSG game, take a page out of their book. The expectation is that it will be the Nautilus to come through from the side of DWG.
Could you not go Xayah Nautilus here and just take away the Nautilus from the Kai'Sa Nautilus lane?
I just don't think it's as strong.
I get that.
I'm not the strongest when it comes to knowing like the best optimal 2 versus 2s. I'm just pretty confident that Xayah Leona... The problem is if you go Xayah Leona here, they then don't have to lock in Nautilus, right? So it seems to me that Mad is saying, okay, here's what could happen. If we lock in Rumble, what they could then do is pick Nautilus and ban away the counters to Nautilus. Fine. We don't have the best 2 versus 2 bot lane, but we do get Rumble. Yay, we get Rumble. Notice, by the way, he's hovering Kog'Maw and Shen. These are 2 picks that Mad Lions have played. I don't know if that's some sort of BM, or if I don't know if they're laughing or something, or if there's something there. I feel like there's something there. Well, but
it was armor on the Shen last time they played against each other.
Right. There you go. Yeah. Okay. But the Kog'Maw hover is also something that humanoids played, but like. Yeah, it does feel like they're taunting them a little bit, you know what I mean?
There's definitely a bit of gamesmanship happening in this draft, and I'm here all for it. There's the Leona banned away with the Nautilus pick that we were discussing. Of course, if Mad had decided to go for the Leona instead of the Rumble, then we would have seen Rumble and Morgana probably banned out here by DWG. Exactly. So it's one of those decisions you have to make. You're going to sacrifice something, and they decided to sacrifice that support pool just a little bit. Now taken away from Khan in the top lane. Of course, Khan could always go back to his old faithful, the Scion, 14-4 on it in the regular season of the LCK.
Orianna ban, interesting. I was kind of expecting the Alistar to be taken off the board. Of course, I think that Nautilus is still fine into the Alistar. Obviously, I was going to say they're not afraid of the Thresh here, but Thresh is already banned because DWG banned Thresh literally every game. So, what will the final ban be? Set. Okay, so all the big top lane answers into
Lee Sin.
Yes, Lee Sin have been taken off the board. Once again, the Shen hover. So personally, I wasn't a fan of the Shen pick yesterday. I didn't think it did a lot. I don't think that it won lane against Lee. I don't think you could really match him in a side lane later because Lee just has better wave clear. And then in the team fights, I don't think it did a huge amount. So I'm not impressed by the Shen. It really does feel like DWG also wasn't that impressed by the Shen. Ooh, are we going to get to see an Aatrox
Yes, we are.
by Khan? Okie dokie. Well, we have not really seen much Aatrox this tournament.
I don't think we've seen it pretty much at all.
I think we may have seen one.
Yeah, we saw one back in
The
group
group
stage, I
stage, yeah.
believe, yeah. Hanabi played it.
Ooh, but the problem is... Okay, never mind. I was going to say Mad can flex the Lee Sin into mids, and then they could actually get themselves a winning top lane matchup, but they've decided no, they're just going to stick with the Victor. They want control mage. They want a little bit more scaling in their composition, which Victor is always going to offer. I think in general, the Victor W is also really good against things like Aatrox, things like Udyr, because of the zone control that it can offer as well. Diving champions, it can also be pretty good as well, because you just chuck the gravity field on yourself. Looks like that the Rakan have it right now. What do you think, Rakan into Nautilus?
It's not the easiest matchup to play in the world. Getting rooted obviously is a little bit painful, but you do have multiple dashes to get out of a fight. I prefer it than the Alistar, because Nautilus, a good Nautilus will just hook you out of your combo all the time on Alistar. You go in for the headbutt and anchor gets into your face and you can't really engage. So Rakan gives you a little bit more flankability and of course works so well in the bot lane duo of Xayah and Rakan.
True, very true. Well, we'll see how that one plays out. Do you imagine that Mad want to try and get their bot lane ahead, but they also want to try and get their top lane ahead? There is a lot of volatility in their composition, a little bit more early game focused, a lot of skirmishing power. The Victor is kind of the part that stands out a little bit in terms of like what the rest of the comp wants to do, but Mad do also have very strong team fighting with their composition. A lot of AoE, a lot of engage tools, a lot of ways to start off those fights. DAMWON, they have priority in the mid lane early game, and you would imagine that Showmaker and Canyon are going to use that to either try and gain advantages in the bot lane 2 versus 2. The great thing about Kai'Sa Nautilus is it is a very easy lane to be able to play through. Alternatively, you can go up towards the top side. Now, I'm not super confident in who outscales between Aatrox and Lee Sin. I have not really seen much of this matchup, so yeah, we're going to be paying attention, see how things go as the game progresses. Initially, I kind of want to say that the Aatrox should never really be able to kill the Lee, because
you should just jump away.
You only have one dash as the Aatrox, and so you can either dash away, you can kick him away. So in theory, the Aatrox shouldn't be able to win that 1v1 later on into the game anyway. So in my head, the Lee kind of outscales because he just has faster wave clear in a side lane. But maybe I'm wrong. We'll have to wait and see and find out. So we'll keep track of that matchup as the game progresses. Either way, as we jump into game, reminder that DAMWON were able to just dismantle Mad in the early game last time around. And once they had that early game lead, they never really let go of it. Yeah. And I think this time around, Mad have adapted and said, well, okay, we want a little bit more early game power. We want the ability to actually skirmish, duel, go for trades, maybe even win out in the 1v1s or the 2 versus 2s, so that we can get our own early leads, and then we're going to look to try and team fight you later on into the game. So we'll see if Mad's adaptations will pay off for them.
Of course, Mad on a 2-game losing streak at the moment after losing to DAMWON and PSG yesterday, and I want to turn those fortunes around, especially with PSG looking so strong ahead of them and C9 having everything to fight for behind them.
And again, we also want to see Mad be competitive with them, right? Yeah. Because I think coming into the tournament, expectations were that DAMWON and RNG were the clear favorites, and it was going to be a battle between those two at the top to determine who would win out on MSI. And then a lot of people would say that Mad, C9, and PSG are kind of clumped together. Yeah. Initially, people kind of rated Mad higher, and then they said, well, okay, maybe Mad can challenge. They played RNG, they played DAMWON, they didn't really show anything. Yeah. Right? Now, PSG have only progressively gotten better. They not only beat RNG, but they had a very competitive game just last game. Yep. So PSG are clearly showcasing their growth, and that's going to make, if they're able to qualify for the semis, which right now they're looking like in prime condition to do so, they're going to have a competitive game. The question is, can now Mad do the same, especially with C9 in a difficult position, but right behind them and looking to try and catch up and also earn that spot in the semifinals.
Exactly. A single win throughout the course of today for Mad Lions puts them so much closer to one of those semi-final berths, and we see Kazi and Kai'Sa getting down towards that bottom lane just a little bit late. Both the junglers starting without a leash as expected, but Elyoya will be pathing top to bot, whereas Canyon will be pathing bot to top. Kai'Sa takes a bit of a chunk. The Guardian on Rakan will keep him pretty healthy for now, but that is, of course, his keystone down for the next little while.
So you can see Mad have kind of invested early vision across the board. They have one on their rafters, and they also have one in the top river. This is primarily to track out any level 1 shenanigans, any early game playmaking, but for the time being, it looks like both junglers doing pretty standard clears. Udyr, of course, the power farming king, has already cleared his bot side and has now made his way onto the rafters. And Elyoya now doing the same thing. A ping did just come through onto the Raptors. Elyoya doesn't care. Very little that he can really do about it now, so he's just going to have to give away that information. That means that Ghost and Beryl will likely just allow this wave to bounce back towards them. They're going to thin it out just a little bit, but I'd be surprised if they want to keep this push up, because there is the risk of a jungle gang heading their way very soon, and Canyon won't be in a position to assist.
Grand Engine's going to come in there. Beryl knocked up, but the Aftershock will make him very tanky and not too susceptible to any DPS. The ward in the Tribush, of course, will keep Ghost and Beryl a little bit safer as Elyoya makes his way through the bottom side of his jungle. Elyoya will be very happy with the way this early game has gone, because yesterday against PSG, he was in this exact same matchup, and he didn't get 5 of his first 6 camps. So just getting a singular jungle clear, it's much better than his performance yesterday.
Certainly is. And now we'll see if he gets himself the Scuttle Crab as well. Looks like he's actually going to reset. Because his bot lane has priority and because Showmaker has priority as well, I think he's just accepted that that is not an objective that he can contest right now. Are we going to see the flash from Canyon? No, we're not. Instead, he's going to focus on getting that bot Scuttle. What I liked from DAMWON, which we're not going to really get to see now, but I'm going to highlight it anyway. There was this ward that, oh, they've actually put it back there.
Yep.
There's the ward that was here to track along with this ward, because they knew that Elyoya was in the bot side of the map. So what they wanted to do was track when he moved into the river so that they can then move down and contest. And Elyoya respected that, responded to it, and doesn't actually gamble on the Scuttle Crab, which means, yes, he's going to be a little bit behind in the matchup, but he's just accepted it and said, there's nothing else I can really do about it, as he now looks for a gank in top lane.
Armut down to 200 HP here. Is going to be a little bit hairy as they go in. Khan flashes away from the Sonic Wave and will survive.
So a bit of a misstep there from Khan. He should have respected that a little bit more, but I think that with the slow push that was building up, he needed to push his wave underneath the tower, and he ends up losing his flash as a result of that. So good punish there from Mad. The question is, can they go back and find another punish? They go in onto Ghost.
Ghost has to pop the heal to get himself out of that. The hypercharge used as well. Is able to escape, but that's a summoner down for really not too much. Beryl using his hook a bit too aggressively. And as soon as you see that hook down as Rakan, you know you can go in, you know you can step forward, because there's no threat of getting locked in spot.
Canyon doing what he often does, contesting for those Raptors. And it was a window with which he was able to take it. He went Gromp straight into Raptors. Really good timing. He will also get spotted out, so he's going to move straight back towards his own Raptors as a sleep come down onto Humanoid.
Humanoid does have flash, but Cannon's going to flash across the wall, gets the stun. Showmaker trying to do what he can, but Humanoid trying to dodge the paddle star, just about survives, but oh, the Siphon power's enough. Humanoid gets the shield off the Q, keeps himself alive, and Elyoya will be here to catch this mid wave. Dodge away here by Kaiser. Beryl hooks a minion and ignites Kaiser. And that is another summoner spell down.
Wow, Humanoid played that perfectly. I am really impressed. The problem for Humanoid is that he used his teleport, which means that he can't really afford to base right now, otherwise he's going to lose so much in the 1v1. I imagine he's going to drop his ultimate, but does he have enough mana? Only 94 right now. Should have enough mana now. I expect him to just drop it and back. No? Is he going to stick around? Okay, he's not going to. But the thing is, Showmaker does have that TP advantage over him. So he can kind of stay in the lane, keep the push up, because he knows that Humanoid is going to run out of mana, and Humanoid's just going to have to accept, I've lost a wave here because I did make that small blunder a little bit earlier on in the lane. But I kind of wish we had a little bit more time to talk about what Canyon was doing earlier, because we saw a really beautiful example of, once again, of how DAMWON play for their jungle and how the vision was just set up perfectly. And I don't know whether it's a communication thing where Showmaker is telling Canyon or Canyon is telling Showmaker or whatever, but there was just wards in the river saying he's going to try and answer by taking my Raptors. And look, now they're set up for the Scuttle Crab. Perfect positioning, TP answer. Elyoya should die here.
Elyoya is going to get chased down. Does still have the flash, of course. Canyon burnt his earlier. Sleepy Trouble Bubble will go wide. Elyoya invests the flash into getting away, but Mad Lions might not be done with this. Humanoid coming in, has the ultimate. Armut looking for the kick as well. Showmaker dodging to the side as much as he can. Canyon, flash, kick, knocked away. He's still got HP. Canyon surviving, dodges the Sonic Wave. And Armut kicks the bear to safety and now is being collapsed on. World Ender from Khan. Infernal Chains will not pull back Humanoid, but he hasn't got anywhere to go. The Gravity Field coming out as well as Showmaker will kill off Armut.
Huge execution error there from Armut, and Canyon's able to get away with his life. I liked the collapse from Mad, and if they were able to kill Canyon, this could have been worth it, but it ends up in disaster. DAMWON find themselves with another early game lead and kills onto the two solo laners.
1,000 gold ahead. Beryl's going to have to flash here. Ignite going down as well. Kazi's on the chase. Ghost forced away. Mad Lions bot lane does have that summoner spell advantage from the heal and the ignite being burnt earlier, so they can be that little bit more aggressive.
You can see the Guardian so powerful as well when it comes to these early skirmishes. Every time you think you went out on the trade, he turns it around. So Elyoya knows that Canyon is here, decides to challenge him anyway. Showmaker with the TP is able to respond first, and then this will force the flash out from Elyoya because he's going to get slept. Armut, though, is saying, hey, we can collapse on this. We win out on the 2 versus 2. Khan is way behind me. And then Showmaker's forced to split apart from Canyon because of the W. And then the flat, he knocks him out of the gravity storm, and he's gonna die if he just takes one more tick. Then he misses the Q. Just a misjudge of damage from Armut, and now they're up a creek without a paddle. And unfortunately, there's nowhere left for them to swim to. Showmaker and Khan are easily able to collapse onto that. And they end up coming out ahead. Beautiful stuff from DWG, and Armut's gonna be frustrated with himself after that.
Did go for the Executioner's calling first on this Lee Sin, so perhaps just overestimated the amount of damage he would usually have at this point in the game. DWG Kia with a 1,400 gold lead. They didn't get that topside scuttle, but they have got advantages in the top lane, in the mid lane, and bot lane is pretty much even. Mad Lions unable to get the early leads we were looking for here, VODs.
Yep, a lot of that deficit coming out in the mid lane. Remember, the Humanoid had to lose one wave in mids because he used his TP, took a huge chunk of damage. Showmaker had that TP advantage, and Showmaker basically just playing that early lane so well against Humanoids. And on top of that, getting himself a kill and an assist. So that's kind of where that gold difference is coming from right now. Of course, Humanoid will continue to scale later on into the game, but that doesn't mean that Zoe's not going to scale as well. She's going to play a little bit different as the game progresses. But let's see what happens next. Canyon flashes in.
Flash, bear, slap. Elyoya puts down the equalizer, but the chains will pull him back. Khan takes the kill. And this roaming death squad from DWG Kia is coming in clutch.
Canyon, he just knows what Elyoya is trying to do at every stage of the game. He's matching him, he's controlling him, and now he's finally able to punish him as he does successfully get a kill. Uses that flash and is able to shut down the young rookie jungler of Mad Lions. Now they're going to play for this Rift Herald as a 2v2 happening once again.
Kaiser diving in onto Bell. Of course, there's no flash on that Nautilus. Heal is popped. Kaiser low, down to about 200 HP. Kazi has used his own heal, and Mad Lions will be able to disengage. Meanwhile, on the top side, Canyon takes the Rift Herald here for DWG.
That was a very close trade between the two bot laners. DWG, though, they're really handling the pressure very well. Considering how strong the Mad 2v2 feels, they're able to just weather the storm. They did lose a couple summoner spells earlier on, but it does not matter to them. They're staying even in CS, and they're kind of playing that weak side very, very well. Meanwhile, Showmaker is continuing to build advantages, Canyon doing the same thing, and that's going to be another play for Showmaker in mid lane. So advantages continue to grow. 2K is the goal leads. The question is now, can Mad do something about it? Because last time, DWG was able to get this early lead, and then they just kind of slowly suffocated Mad out. Mad didn't really do anything in response. They have a composition that can do things in the early game, can look for plays. The question is, will they? Will they take those gambles? Will they take those risks in early skirmishes, or will they just wait for the team fights later on?
It's so difficult for Mad Lions in this sort of situation, especially since this is how they lost the game. The last time these two teams faced, they fell behind early and really just couldn't find anything to do. Elyoya has been all over the map, but Canyon has been tracking him at every opportunity. Canyon starting up the dragon. Elyoya does have the equalizer. Kazi and Kaiser looking for an opportunity to engage. The quickness available for Kaiser alongside that flash, not as powerful as it used to be. Of course, you can't quickness straight into flash, but you can flash quickness. Instead, Elyoya will back away as the Mad Lions bot lane pushes in the wave.
DWG do this thing where they're just so good with vision, right? And I just want to highlight it on the minimap, and if our observers have the opportunity to showcase how much that DWG can see, it's like they just have so much vision control. Wards across the board, absolutely everywhere, and they just suffocate people out. All these wards littered across the river. It makes it so much harder for Mad to actually find those plays. Yep. It's also how you prevent Elyoya from answering back any of the jungle invades coming out from Canyon. And now they can set up for this Rift Tower play where they're actually going to take the mid tower very early on into the game. Just such excellent control coming out from DWG and showcasing why they are such a world-class team.
Humanoid with the gravity field was able to keep the tower alive for a second until Showmaker hops and skips his way forward for that final auto attack. And now Canyon has so much more free reign to do things like this. Gets in behind, Humanoid gravity well coming down. Humanoid will flash to safety.
Just exquisite play overall from DWG. I love looking at their vision control because it is just exemplary. They just have all the right vision in all the right places at all the right times. Like, very rarely do you see this many control wards being placed across the map. Like, he even has a ward right now on the enemy Raptors once again, so he can check out when Elyoya is doing them, if he even is. He's expecting right now Elyoya to do a top side clear into bot, and that means that there's an opportunity for him to steal something. Like,
Elyoya spotted again.
And now they have information. Now they can steal away those camps. They may even set up for a red invade. Like, it's just so well done. It's beautiful. Love to watch from the side of DAMWON. It just goes to show, like, how difficult it is to challenge a team like this. When games look close, you have to really give a lot of respect to the teams that are actually able to bring DAMWON to that position, because it is a very difficult thing to do, especially when they starve you and suffocate you as Khan now for the collapse.
Humanoid has no flash and he's got nowhere to go. Khan on a killing spree now on this Aatrox 3-0-1, looking to continue the 100% win rate that Aatrox has at MSI 2021.
Khan just using his window there. He knew that armor had just reset. They had full vision control over the top side jungle, and they're able to collapse on a flashless mid lane that doesn't have a tower. Just excellent stuff. DAMWON continue to suffocate out Mad.
It's truly just so impressive to watch, because it's vision control gets you the flash in the mid lane. Then Khan uses the vision control on the top side of the map to get back into mid lane and punish that flash. And although games with DAMWON don't always have tons of kills, they're not the bloodfests that we expect from, you know, LPL teams or from these more aggressive teams. They are so measured and so methodical in the steps that they take to shut the enemy out, and they give you so few opportunities. And that's why coming into this game we said we wanted to see more from Mad in the early game. We wanted to see more of that aggression, and here DWG Kia have shut that down. They have said, no, you are not allowed to look for these plays. And even when Mad have, even in that bottom lane when Mad had a couple of opportunities, DWG have been just that mechanically bit better and being able to stop them in their tracks. Ground Engine's here onto Canyon. He's charmed up, the quickness coming out. Kaiser's going to dodge away. TP coming in as Mad look to join the fray. Humanoid diving onto Beryl. Counter TP from Khan. Canyon low. Showmaker getting the damage in from the side, though. There's the paddle staff. Feather Storm comes out. Kazi able to survive for the moment. Importantly, Armor did not burn his teleport to get in here. Khan locked up. The equalizer across the wall. Burning the trees, I'm sure, but not too many of DAMWON. Instead, Elyoya flashes forward with the flame spitter, and now Armor joins the fray. Beryl down as well. Mad Lions have found a bit of a skirmish in the bottom lane, a bit of a fight that they were looking for, and they will force DWG Kia back.
So DAMWON end up struggling in this 5 versus 5. Mad are able to actually come out ahead. It was Canyon that was caught out on vision, but oh look, Canyon stealing jungle camps again. Looking for that man, he is looking in the enemy jungle. But very well played fight from Mad. Good patience. Armor held onto the TP for a very long time, saying, do I need to come? Do I need to come? And then the moment Khan oversteps, he tries to collapse onto Kazi. That was Mad's Lion's opportunity to strike. They're able to find a successful pick. And let's have a look at the new Axe Effect replay as to how this all came to be. So Kazi used his E actually very early. They get a good chunk of damage down onto Canyon. He's like, okay, I'm out. No need to commit to this fight. But then Showmaker's coming in on the flank and they're like, oh, actually, Mad's overcommitting to this a little bit. Let's see if we can actually go for this. Canyon's still in an awkward position, though. It's kind of a 4 versus 4 as Showmaker's still zoned away. Then this moment, the moment Khan gets rooted up, that's when the chain CC comes through from Mad. Khan overcommits trying to kill Kaiser, and while they do get the kill on him, you can see that now DAMWON is in the awkward position as Mad is able to chase them down. Ghost even forced to flash out from that situation as well. So good team fight from Mad, but it's not going to get them back the early gold deficit they find themselves in for now.
Yeah, still a 3,000 gold lead here for DWG Kia. We saw the gold graph on the side a moment ago. Showmaker 2,000 ahead of Humanoid right now. And with the Infernal Dragon up in 2 seconds, it looks like DWG Kia want to gain control of this bot side river once again. Mad Lions currently occupying it. They've got their feet a little bit wet as they paddle through it, and DWG Kia, well, they put on their floaties and they are going to gain control of that river once again. Canyon will start up the dragon, and Mad Lions look to take the Rift Hold in response.
Yeah, kind of crazy how DWG just kind of took that back.
Yeah, they just walked into it. It's like, hey.
Yeah, I didn't get to see exactly their vision setup, but I think because DWG could also come in through the bot lane, that was why Mad felt like that with only control in mid, they didn't feel confident enough to actually push through the river. In any case, we do have a question from Jet Manamo Alexander. Can Mad find the formula to crush the World Champions, or will it be classic DK1 war win? Well, right now, it feels like that Mad don't quite have the formula, but they are setting up for the cross map. They're at a bit of a goal disadvantage, but Kazi's kind of the player I'm looking at. I feel like he's had a great tournament. Even in the loss yesterday to PSG, I felt like he was still a consistent playmaker. He's a little bit ahead of Ghost. He has good items, and I think he can be a carry. The question is, will it be enough, especially when Showmaker is so strong? And I mean, look at Humanoid, hasn't even completed his first item yet.
I'm looking for how Mad navigates some of these team fights that will come in later on, because of course with DWG Kia getting that second dragon, we are on track for an Ocean Soul in about 26 minutes or so. We've got 4 minutes on this Drake and then another 5 after that, and DAMWON with Ocean will be very difficult to deal with. And you look at it, Mad do have good tools for a team fight. You've got the gravity field to lock people in place. If you can get that with an equalizer layered on top of it, that is a huge amount of damage. The quickness groups them all together for it as well. But this is so difficult for Mad because, Vedi, this vision we keep talking about. Look at how many wards DWG Kia have right now in the Mad jungle. They don't need to control the top side of the map. They have so much on the bottom. And it makes it so easy for Khan to escape a gank, for Showmaker to escape a gank, because you always know where Mad Lions are.
Exactly that. And Khan recognizes he's going to get collapsed on. This is the weak side of the map. DK gonna do the cross map and just continue to trade these out of towers. Both AD carries are being the benefactors of this. Funnel as much gold as you can. Humanoid now respecting the fact that without a mid tier 1, Canyon can do this. And overall, great play from DAMWON.
It's kind of reminiscent of, you know, the LCK glory days, the way that they controlled the game when the LCK would out-macro the world, and we saw SKT winning world championship after world championship, and that is what DWG Kia are doing to Mad Lions here. Of course, I'm not comparing Mad Lions to Worlds finalists, but it is a solid style of play, and it just shuts your opposition down. And when Canyon could just walk in and yoink a red buff with a smite, it becomes so demoralizing because every play you try to make, the enemy just walks away from it, and you can never find a purchase, an avenue back into the game.
And look, pings right now for Mad Lions into their own jungle. They're basically saying, Canyon might be here. Canyon is continuing to suffocate. Canyon is trying to take absolutely everything away. They even had to bring in Kaiser here. And so much vision investment is to just denial. And it's just, we've said it before, it's just great to watch this vision control. I will say that a lot of this comes down to, though, that early 2 versus 2. If Mad had killed Canyon, this could have been a different game.
Yep.
If Armor hadn't messed up his kick, the control that DAMWON had in the early game may have been very different. Showmaker wouldn't be at the advantage position that he's in right now.
3K ahead, Fetty.
He has the goal difference right now. And it's crazy. Like, bear in mind, Elgoya stayed relatively even with Canyon in terms of goal, but the things that Canyon has given his team is just have been so, so powerful. So props to DAMWON, continuing to look good. And again, we keep saying, like, let's see what we see from Mad, because we're hoping to see something. Right now, they're sieging onto the mid-tier 1, trying to take this final ladder tower as Ghost has pushed in the bot wave. Someone from Mad has to now go and answer that. Armit does have the TP, so does Humanoid. You expect them to send Armit around there, but Humanoid also really needs farm. So perhaps they just want to funnel more resources into him. Instead, they're actually saying, Kazi, you should take this. With the Drake spawning in about a minute's time, we want to keep you on the bot side of the map anyway. And we can keep Victor mid with his wave clear, because he's got the upgraded E now, and he should be able to just one-shot the wave. Meanwhile, as Mad answer waves, DAMWON take control of the jungle with their vision investment.
It's one of those games where I wonder if Humanoid picking up an Oracles might be beneficial for Mad Lions. Of course, you want the extra wards on the map, but having 3 Oracles when you are so down in vision can really help you just clear out the extra wards that DWG Kia are placing, because right now DWG Kia have total control of this bot side jungle. Here is the sweeper. Doubled, I believe, from Elioyo and Kaiser. A little bit of a waste there, but that's okay for the moment as they step forward towards this Ocean Dragon that will be spawning in 19 seconds. It's not sold yet, but it is soul point for DWG Kia. If they can get it, Mad Lions will make a foray into the top of the river. They're trying to gain the mid priority, trying to get that wave pushing in as they go forward. Canyon stepping in, Khan in a really good position here. He's got the flank, he dives onto Armor, who will use the safeguard to jump away. Mad Lions have a wave pushing mid with the cannon. Ghost the only one there to defend it, and Kaiser stepping in. Gravity field will keep DWG Kia away from the fight for the moment. That tower almost falls. Flash, hook, but Kaiser flashes in front of it. The charm coming out, and there's the equalizer. Doesn't really hit onto too many people, but Beryl is low. Featherstone pop from Kaiser, and Garma dives in, kills off Beryl. Here comes Khan. The world ender gonna end some kills today. Elioya next on the menu. Kaiser trying to just peel back for Kazi, but Showmaker stepping in. Ghost is stepping in, and DWG Kia are stepping in. They are saying this game is over.
5 dead on the side of Mad Lions as DAMWON get an ace at 22 minutes into the game. Mad, they tried to make a play happen. Armut overcommits though, getting a kill onto Beryl. And that was the beginning of the end of the fight. Such beautiful execution from DAMWON. They're going to get themselves a very early Baron. They're likely going to get themselves their third Drake of the game as well. DAMWON, from start to finish, have been in complete control and are looking to shut down Europe's representatives.
It's not just the vision denial, it's not just the jungle camps being stolen away, it's also the fact that DAMWON will out-team fight you. And now Armut trying to get in here, trying to get some sort of semblance of hope for Mad Lions, but DAMWON are here once again. Armut is rooted in place. He has to dive over the wall, and Humanoid is next on the menu. Kaiser diving in, diving forward. There's the equalizer onto Beryl. He will burn down. Tick, tick, boom. Mad Lions get a kill, but DAMWON have control of the dragon, and they will get their third dragon of the game.
They do end up losing their support, but worthy sacrifice on the side of Beryl as DAMWON get absolutely everything. Let's have a look back at this fight. So the flash in for Beryl, the response from Kaiser. He wants to body block for his AD carry, the Rumble ultimate, not doing a huge amount, same for the Chaos Soul. This is when Armut overcommits, thinking that he can get this kill, but he has no way out, which means that the Drowsy then applies onto Elyoya, and you can see how the chase down then comes through from Ghost and Showmaker. The ultimate unavailable from Kazi. Actually missed where he ended up using that earlier. But Mad, as they tried to escape, end up getting chased down by DAMWON and absolutely obliterated.
And the gold lead has just snowballed. 8,000 ahead now for DWG here, and they still have a minute and a half on this Red Bull Baron power play. They are in such a dominant position. Humanoid is spinning. Oh my goodness, you blink and you miss it. Kazi's just dead. DWG now pushing in mid, pushing in bot. They don't care about Humanoid. Go, get some minions. Get your farm up. We will take your towers, will take your inhibs, and they are pressing through the mid lane and the bottom lane simultaneously. Mid lane inhibitor first on the menu here for DAMWON.
It's just control, 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 into team fight, into game.
Yep.
Like, just beautiful stuff from beginning to end from DAMWON. Absolutely excellently played, and Mad once again struggling to showcase anything against the LCK representative. That's going to be the second inhibitor taken down. And
10,000 gold lead now, Vedius.
10,000 gold lead. Like, there is very little way in which Mad can come back into this game. Just an impressive performance across the board from DAMWON. And like, I can't help but think that 2v2 that happened in the river, if Canyon had died, could this have been a different game? Could Mad have kept the game a little bit more even? It's difficult to say, but it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, DAMWON have so much of an advantage. Canyon is going to take everything.
Steals away the blue buff, emotes as he leaves. Canyon having a field day, and DWG here, really, the game is very much in their hands right now. Double inhibitors down, they can push in the top wave. Baron about to fall off, of course, but DWG could take a fight. They could go at a numbers disadvantage. They haven't even lost their mid-tier 1 yet, Vedius. They are so powerful, so strong. 3 items on Ghost, 3 items complete as well for Showmaker. That Medja, as I see that Death Note sitting there as Beryl looks for a flank position. Mad Lions, 4 players strong here. Armut doesn't have the TP to join them, and they will settle for just the tower, but the rest of DAMWON just push in this top lane.
They're likely going to trade the tier 2 for the tier 1 in mid. The rest of Mad are going to be forced to reset. Remember, they don't have any inhibs, so they're going to have to catch the mid wave. DAMWON now threatening the final tower of the base.
I have to feel it's the final countdown here for Mad. Something miraculous would have to come out if they're going to turn this game around. Canyon and Khan just distracting, making faces at Mad as they push them underneath their inhibitor tower once again. The wave about 7 seconds or so away. Elyoya takes a chunk. Paddle Star goes straight into his back as Canyon catches this wave as well. Super minions now almost on the Nexus towers, and Armut will be sent to deal with them. Canyon walking in, uninvited into the base of Mad Lions, but he doesn't care, he doesn't need a ticket. Very happy just to push forward as Khan continues just to threaten the side here of Mad Lions. He can walk these minions in. You can see there's a huge wave in bot lane, Vedi. That's going to be there in about 30 seconds time, and that's double super minions. Elyoya takes a Paddle Star.
It doesn't matter how many you miss, as long as one hits.
Got to hit one. I mean, when you've got 12 stack Medjais, a Horizon Focus, and an Everfrost, you are going to do quite a sizable chunk of damage. More like a Paddle Galaxy than a Star in that sort of situation. Chaos Storm used to clear out the wave, but that wave we talked about in the bot lane is marching forward. Relentless and currently unstopped. Kazi will be there to deal with it. DWG don't have a wave really in the top lane, so they are just pushing in with these supers for the moment. Wave's not quite as synced as they'd like. Quickness coming out, Beryl going in, the equalizer misses too much, and there's the stopwatch from Beryl. He's going to keep himself alive for the moment as DWG fighting a 4v5. 1 kill over to the Mad Lions. Khan knocked back, but he's in the world. Endo, he can turn this one around. Look at the healing. Kaiser's going to land the knock of Khan. One more auto will be enough. Kazi pulling back. Canyon's down as well. Mad Lions found the miraculous fight they were looking for.
Hang on. Mad were not supposed to win that fight. That has definitely gone against the plans of DAMWON. That doesn't necessarily mean that Mad are now back in the game, but it's step 1 of the comeback process. The Drake is spawning in about 10 seconds time. There is no jungle on the side of DAMWON.
I mean, they can burst this pretty quickly.
Well, who are you talking about?
DAMWON.
I mean, yeah, but I don't think it's going to be quick enough. Beryl's on his way back. Armut is here with the squad. And Mad are going to buy a little bit more time. So the thing is, I was thinking to myself, okay, the siege from DAMWON is fine, because all they're really doing is waiting for Mad to make a mistake, right?
Sure.
You send one person to catch that wave bot, and then you can then push in top, take top tower, right? I think the problem for DAMWON is their waves aren't really synced up, so there's actually a window of opportunity here for Mad to take a fight, because Ghost is split from the team, so Beryl dies. Then this play from Armut, clutch, sets up Khan to be in this very awkward position. He's then forced to flash, Kaiser gets the knock-up, and then Kazi gets that kill. And then Canyon, bit of an uncharacteristic mistake from him. Normally he would disengage, he then actually goes back in. But it looks like with the Baron respawning, DAMWON's just going to grab this objective. It's unlikely that Mad is actually going to be able to contest this. So Mad is going to have to find another miracle fight into another Drake, into a lot.
It feels like they need a few miracle fights in a row. Like, as much as they won that last fight, it was more pride for Lions than anything else, and DAMWON still very much in control of this game. 8,000 gold ahead, 4 minutes on an Ocean Soul if they want it. They have the Baron in their back pocket, and 4 items on Showmaker's Zoe. Armut is looking to see if he can catch someone here. Of course, could insect someone back into his team. Doesn't have the flash right now, so it would have to be a ward hop kickback. Kaiser in a good flank position, has the flash, has the quickness, but long-range Sleepy Trouble Bubble won't quite connect onto Mad Lions. Where are the super minions in the other lanes? Well, they're not there anymore, VODs, because those inhibitors have respawned. Khan's going to walk in. A cannon wave in mid. Mad Lions might look for the opportunity to engage. Humanoid was slept. Paddlestar goes wide. Khan now pressing forward. And the thing with this is Mad Lions really have to pull the trigger. You have to make a fight happen before you start to lose your inhibs again. Otherwise, you're against super minions and a Baron buff. DAMWON will take the mid lane inhibitor. Khan can work his way down towards the bottom side. Mad going in. Kaiser looking for the engage on Canyon. Quickness was not popped there. The sleep onto Elyoya takes him down to half HP alongside a Paddlestar. Top lane inhibitor tower will fall, and DAMWON Kia just pulling Mad all around the map. Kazi exhausted. Hook. Oh, that dredge line was a whisker away from hitting. Kazi almost took the bait, but DAMWON continue just to push in. Khan will take the bot lane inhibitor. Here goes Kaiser with the quickness, knocked up with a depth charge. He really can't find the engage. Armut diving forward as well. Kaiser pops the stopwatch, but Mad Lions now on the back foot. Canyon down to about 300 HP. Kazi puts the feathers down. Beryl falling low as well. Humanoid forced away. Beryl will fall. 4v4 now in the base of Mad. Ghost diving in with the killer instinct. He falls to the equalizer, but so does Kazi. 1-for-1 trade. Humanoid still alive, coming back off the fountain. Showmaker diving forward. Canyon on the Nexus towers will be forced away with the Death Ray, but all 3 inhibitors have now fallen. Showmaker picks up a stopwatch just in case one isn't enough. Gets kicked back, but he's killed off Elyoya. Diving forward, Khan will take another. Canyon. Mischief managed for him as he flashes away from the Death Ray, and Humanoid can only flash back to his fountain. DAMWON will secure their spot alongside RNG in the semi-finals as they dismantle the Mad Lions here. An incredible performance in control from start to finish.
DAMWON lost 1 fight, but outside of that, it was flawless. Excellent performance from DAMWON. And they just, how else can I say it? They just played extremely well. Their vision control was a joy to watch. They never gave Mad the room to breathe. And Kazi, he had some moments, but like, it feels that Mad are just never given the opportunity to make these plays. Some of the ways in which they found wins in the past was clever ganks, good counter ganks, but it feels like the Canyon just reads everything that Elyoya does. Perhaps we're seeing a bit of a difference in experience come through, you know? Perhaps, you know, the rookie versus the world champ. Maybe you're starting to feel it a little bit. Of course, Mad Lions, they still have the ability to make it out of the group stages.
Yeah.
They're still in a pretty good position, of course. Cloud9 is the team that's in the difficult situation, and they are going to be going up against RNG next. But if they can get a big win there, things start to get a little more interesting.
They really do. I think Cloud9 have a long road to the semifinals, but they can definitely still make it. You can check out RNG and